Hello. Got an interesting one. At least I think it's interesting. I find it interesting. Behind these two totally different size boxes, we've got pretty much the same knife. In fact, they're so similar that Kershaw has the model 7007. The Natrix, I think is how it's pronounced. I could be slaughtering that, I don't know. But that's the 7007. In their ZT line, mix those numbers up and it's the 0770. I've got mine in carbon fiber. The only reason I bought this Kershaw was so that I could actually see the difference between the Kershaw line and the ZT line. Just curious if it was justifiable. It is the exact same knife, pretty much. I could be wrong, but it's like literally the exact same knife, but in ZT versus Kershaw. So the hardware on the Kershaw, I mean, it looks like a nice little knife. Still like the way it looks compared to the ZT, because they look the same. They really do. But the hardware, you can tell, is much cheaper. It's done by a machine and quickly, I'm guessing. The scales feel cheap. They really, really do. And has the same type of deployment. But as it's coming out, I don't know if you can hear it. The lock actually gets stuck too. But it's almost got like a grinding or rubbing feeling. It just doesn't come out as smoothly. And the tension on it isn't the same either. It's not all that great. Could be a good beater knife, I don't know. Or it could be just a cheaper knife if someone wanted it. And if they do, more power to them. Now, the blade is obviously a cheaper blade as well. It's 8CR13 MOV, big long blade, whatever. So that's that. And the ZT, smooth as butter. Still has that same type of, there's not a ton of spring on it if it's midway, but a lot of people de-assist them anyway. But from the get-go, it fires out pretty good. There's no blade play on the ZT at all. The Kershaw, there's quite a bit of blade play, and it's just sloppy feeling. Now, they're both about the same thickness. They're both about the same. Kind of hard to see, but they even have the same style backspacer, except that the Kershaw, it's like plastic. Maybe it's G10, but it just feels like some sort of plastic or polymer, versus the ZT, it's like titanium. You got carbon fiber, excuse me, scales on the ZT, and it just feels like a premium knife. So between the two, obviously, that one didn't even deploy. I don't know if you saw that. Between the two, $50 knife versus a $200 knife. Is it worth it? Some might say no. I say absolutely it's worth it, especially if you're going to be using it every day. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I can't even do this one one-handed. I'm just weak. Between the two, I can see where they get the money, or the price tag for their ZT line. But still, both are great. Just one is much better. So I did my homework, and I threw away $50. What do you do? Hope it helps.